I would like to acknowledge that this video is being filmed on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video today. Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the special editions of books that I have on my shelf. I am someone who likes to collect books, so that is my choice. I know some people prefer ebooks and not to have a physical collection, but I do like having books, and every now and then I do pick up some special editions of things, and I love having them. They make me happy, so I thought I would share some of them with you. I have a mixture of genres in this video. They're not just romance special editions. If you follow me on TikTok, you might have seen some of these recently as I've been doing my bookshelf tour on TikTok. I need to catch up on that. I've got a couple of videos to edit for it. I actually don't always keep multiple editions. Some of these I do have multiple editions of books, and that's because they're favorites or because there is some kind of sentimental value attached to it. But for the most part, if I get a really nice edition, then I may not necessarily keep the original one that I had. So we might start off with some of the non-romance titles, and I'll start off with a YA title. So I have this 25th anniversary edition of Sabriel by Garth Nix. Garth Nix is an Australian fantasy author. This came out, was it this year? The 25th anniversary edition came out last year. I actually received this from Allen & Unwin. It is a beautiful hardback book. It doesn't have a dust jacket, but it has this gorgeous illustration of Sabriel, and this was one of the very first fantasy books that I ever read as a teen. In fact, I was in my late teens when I read it for the first time, and I think it's a really, really lovely edition of the book, and it's part of my reading history, so that's why I'm holding on to this one, because it's gorgeous. Another collector's edition or special edition, whatever you want to call it, that I have is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This is the hardback version of it. And when I first started on BookTube, it was just when these books were really popular. And so I read them and I did love them. And this was when I was still reading a lot of fantasy or straight up fantasy. And this series, and in particular this first book, does hold a very special place in my heart as well. It does have the embossing on the cover, character illustrations on the end papers, and so I've kept this one as well. I do have my original paperback, which is the one that I've annotated and whatnot, but this one will probably be the next one that I do go through. I'm not planning on collecting any of the other hardbacks in this series. I just wanted this first one because this is the one that I have the fondest memories of. Another young adult collector's edition that I have is this special collector's edition of A Monster Calls by Ness. This one is fully illustrated inside. It's just eerie and I love the illustrations. It also has additional content and it talks about the book and the film, and I really like it. I think it's a really nice book to have. I also have the special edition of Song of Achilles. Again, this was a book that I read very early on in my booktube journey, and this edition is just so pretty. I love the gold foiling on the hardback, and so I have a copy of it. Now, you guys have heard me talk about my Folio Society editions of Jurassic Park and The Lost World. This is a series that is very, very important to me in my reading history. I can tell you exactly when and where I read these books for the very first time. I was in year 8, I was at a new school, I was not reading heavily, and I'd moved states the year before, so I was really finding it hard to have a close friendship group because I didn't really know people, and so spending time in the library was, how I dealt with that. And I found Jurassic Park on the shelf, and all I knew about it was I knew there was a movie. I hadn't seen the movie at that point, so I actually read these before I saw the movies, and I read it and was hooked, and then I read The Lost World and I was hooked on that, and then ever since I have just absolutely loved these books. And all of my friends tease me about my little dinosaur obsession, but I absolutely love these books, and these editions are just stunning. Folio Society does the most amazing books, and I bought these for myself for Christmas as my Christmas gift. So they have a slipcase, they have beautiful illustrations on the hardback, there are full color illustrations inside the book. They're absolutely stunning. This is The Lost World. Again, with the illustrations. And I will be rereading Jurassic Park, hopefully in December with Ashley, because I didn't realize that she had read Jurassic Park and she wanted to reread it, so I said I'd read it with her. I'm so excited because I'm going to read it finally in this edition, and they're very, very special to me. There's not too many books on the Folio Society website that I'm actually interested in continuing to collect. The only other series that I'd be interested in at the moment, aside from maybe some of the comic bind-ups, which are really expensive and I'm not looking at getting anywhere in the near future, are the His Dark Materials series by Philip Pullman. Again, another book series that for me is sort of like a milestone in my reading history. And I figure if I'm going to spend money on really, really nice editions that can be passed down as sort of family heirlooms really, then you know, that I want them to be books that were special and important to me. So definitely these books. All right, moving into some other special editions. These ones are romance titles. So every now and then in book boxes, you get, you know, alternate covers and things like that. So there were 2 books that I got in a Hello Lovely box. There was Morning Glory Milking Farm and A Lady of Rooksgrave Manor that have alternate covers that you can't get anywhere else. I have the alternate cover for Not My Type by Evie Mitchell, and this one is really special for me because Evie actually sent this to me after I was on a live show with her on Bree's channel. She did sign and personalize it to me. She sent me the alternate cover because I already had the original cover and I kept both. This is one of those books where I've kept both copies because they're both important to me and I just love having this one. The covers are so pretty. I also have the collector's edition of A Court of Thorns and Roses. The slipcase for this is just gorgeous with the foiling, but I would be lying if I say I didn't buy this because it is stunning. And that one was totally bought because I just thought it looked absolutely beautiful. And again, it is another part of my reading history in terms of the first fantasy romance really that I read. Pretty sure it was, or if not, it was very close to it. So yes, say what you will about Sarah J Maas. I don't like any of the new covers for any of her books, but this one I love. I also have 3 collector's editions for TJ Klune's books. So there is The House on the Cerulean Sea, which has the beautiful sprayed edges. There is Under the Whispering Door. Again, beautiful end papers. I've got to say, there are illustrations on the hardback as well. I feel like this one's kind of got mixed reviews, but I absolutely loved this book so much, and I loved the relationship and the development of it and the complicated nature of this relationship. So yes, again, another book that I love. And also Wolfsong, which you guys saw me unbox and, you know, get very sappy and teary-eyed over. But again, this book is just a book and a series that literally swept me off my feet and just made me fall in love with all of the characters and just want to continuously reread it. So I'm very happy to have these lovely, lovely editions. And I'm keeping my original ones because I can't bring myself to put all my tabs in here because of the artwork, but it might be one that I go through and actually annotate on the pages. I do have a few other special editions, like the special editions of the Wicked Villain series by Katie Robert, which I've shown many times on this channel. I have special editions of indie published romance books that authors have commissioned foiled covers or things like that. If you're interested in a part 2, I'm very happy to grab all of those out and show those as well. But I just wanted to highlight some of the ones that maybe I haven't talked about too much recently on the channel, or books that have significant value to me. So yes, I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these books. If you have any comments or questions about any of them, let me know. I hope that everywhere in the world you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.